Greetings to all the viewers who have tuned in for today's session of Jibs Infotainment. Today we are going to discuss about the increased screen time of the children. I'm Babita, academic tutor at Jindal Institute of Behavioral Sciences. To discuss on the topic, we have with us Dr. Sanjeev P. Sahni, who is the Principal Director of Jindal Institute of Behavioral Sciences at OP Jindal Global University. We welcome you, Dr. Sahni, for today's session.
Thank you.
Dr. Sahni, as per the recent reports say that the screen time has increased significantly for the children between the age group of 5 to 15 years. Kids are spending almost 5 more hours, additional hours on top of what they were doing before on the screen. So, owing to this, how do we look for the remedies for the same?
Thank you very much, Babita, and I want to tell you that it is true that screen time has been increased. How it has been increased? That on an average, the school-going students are spending good 3 to 6 hours in front of screen, so it's online learning. Second is the digital media, social media timings have also gone up because during Corona time there were not many physical activity around. First of all, I would like to begin with an important point that a certain amount of screen time is not bad, because many people say that their children are spending. I understand, but yes, not that you spend like 10 hours in a day. Reports suggested that by age 2, children can benefit from some types of screen time, such as programming with music, movement, and stories. Many times you go to a restaurant, you see that, parents are having food and the children are busy with their small gadgets watching something. By watching together, we can even help our children understand what he or she is seeing and how to apply it in real life. However, having said that, passive screen time should not replace reading, playing, or problem solving. We have to ensure that our children are not randomly passing their time on screens. It leads to a lot of physical, mental health conditions like obesity, irregular sleep schedules, and shorter duration of sleep. Behavioral problems like loss of social skills, and in certain cases, it even leads to violence. Now, coming to your question, Babita, that how can we address it? Let's be little realistic. In today's world, it is impossible to avoid screens. They are everywhere, so our children will, of course, get to see them. But there are certain guidelines that can be followed which will help in ensuring that children get quality screen time.
So, sir, can you explain some of those guidelines that can help us to ensure the screen time for children?
There are series of guidelines by various institutes. In fact, you get confused because we are getting quite a lot contradictory results as well. But, for example, the American Academy of Pediatrics discourages media usage except for video chatting by children who are younger than 18 to 24 months. If you introduce digital media to children ages 18 to 24 months, make sure it's high quality and avoid solo media use. For children aged 2 to 5, limit screen time to 1 hour a day of high quality program. And also I would suggest the bigger the screen, better it would be. Now, for children who are aged above 5, parents should preview programs, games, and apps before allowing your child to view or play with them. So parents have to play a major role in this. We can also use parental controls to block or filter internet content. Make sure, there's a message, your child is close by during screen time so that you can supervise his or her activities. Ask your child regularly what programs or games or apps he or she has played with during the day. There's nothing harm. When watching programming with your child, discuss what you are watching and educate him or her about advertising and commercials as well. Also, to add on, avoid fast-paced programming, which young children have a hard time understanding. Avoid apps with a lot of distracting content and violent media. Eliminate advertising on apps since young children have trouble telling the difference between ads and factual information.
These are very valuable suggestions, sir. Thank you. So, how do we deal with the addiction part? When we talk about that students and children these days are engaged with the gadgets most of the times, how do we deal when it comes to them being addicted to the gadgets?
It's $1 million question, I must say that. See, first of all, it is important for parents to ascertain whether they themselves are addicted to screens or not. You can direct your children only if you yourself are not indulging in excessive screen time. Many times it happens, parents spend a lot of time and then children say, hey, if you are spending a lot of time, how can you say no to us? Most of time, we see parents themselves handing over the gadgets to their children so that they don't have to bear their run-of-the-mill tantrums. It's very common when children are crying, you just give them the gadgets. So if parents themselves are the culprits, it is futile to discipline your children. We should also create tech-free zones of times, such as during mealtime or one night a week, wherein no one is using any gadgets. So there should not be a timetable as I'm suggesting. It's very simple. Whenever it's required or whenever parents thinks that the child can spend half an hour or 1 hour, they may allow them. It is also advised that discourage use of media entertainment during homework. You can't do, the child is doing both the things simultaneously. Also, it is very important to ensure no exposure to devices or screens 1 hour before bedtime. It's important because we don't want that they should go to bed with very funny or violent plays. Ask your children to charge their devices outside of their bedrooms at night. Leave it outside. It is very important that we keep screens out of our children's bedroom. Over and above, it is important to eliminate background TV, that is, randomly keeping televisions on in our drawing rooms. In fact, I have seen that over the periods, many people have changed themselves towards that.
So what do you think are the possible repercussions if we do not curtail these habits of children? What do you think the studies are suggesting these days?
Just few days back, I read a report in Indian Express newspaper which mentioned that increased screen time has led to an alarming rise in squint eye cases and myopia among children in India. As per the report, the onset of myopia among children has been increasing by about 25%, while the annual myopia progression has been abnormally high at 100%. person. Also, what our studies indicate is that increased screen time lead to number of major issues. One could be sleep problems and insomnia among children. Lower grades in school is also related with this. Reading of fewer books, less time with family and friends, and obviously not enough outdoor or physical activities. There's another issues like weight problems, mood problems, poor self-image and body image issues, fear of missing out, and lesser ways to relax and have fun. These are the issues which various recent studies are quoting.
Sir, as you yourself suggested that increasing screen time is leading to many health adversities, how do we lessen the harms which are being caused by the increased screen time?
Don't expect a simple answer to this question because the whole world is still indulging into this kind of results. But one thing which I can definitely say, if the child spends more than 1 hour in front of a computer screen or even mobile phone without a break, the child is more at a risk of developing eye-related complications than a child who spends 3 hours but takes frequent breaks. So what I'm trying to say is the frequent breaks are necessary. Encourage children that every after 20-25 minutes, if they can have a little break, that is better. Children are experiencing a lot of digital eye strain conditions like glaucoma, I've read a recent study, or even is called pink eyes. These symptoms can include dry eyes, itchy eyes, blurry vision, and even headaches. The easiest way to avoid digital eye strain is to make sure to blink often and to look up from your screen or close up work every 20 minutes and focus at least 20 feet away for 20 seconds. This strategy of frequent refocusing is called the 20-20-20 rule, and lets the eyes relax and reset. It's definitely going to help. Also, keep the computer or desk an arm's length away and at a slight downward angle from your child's face. Adjust the computer screen's setting, including contrast and brightness, so that it is comfortable for your children. Also, maintain good posture while using a screen. Poor posture, many people they sit like this. Poor posture can contribute to muscle tightness and headaches associated with eye strain.
Dr. Sahni, psychologists these days are talking about the increased screen time plans are also there with the families. So can you throw some light on what is that concept all about and how can we incorporate that in our lives?
Many parents come to me and they ask this question. There are various screen time plans which psychologists suggest can help in alleviating harmful effects of screen time. I can tell you some useful tips can be talking to your child about what they are seeing. Pointing out good behavior such as cooperation, friendship, and concern for others can be helpful. Encourage your child to learn other activities such as sports, music, art, and hobbies that do not involve screens. Be aware of advertising and how it influences their choices. Teach children about online privacy and safety. Actively decide when your child is ready for a personal device. It's not out of love or emotions. You parents should take a decision. Encourage using screen in ways that build creativity and connection with family and friends. The right plan for one family may not be good fit for another. So we need to be little more innovative or creative that what plan will fit in for your children.
So to reiterate this for our viewers, I would like to say that they should closely observe how much time their kids are using the gadgets for and how much time are they spending on an average online. It is very important that this does not interfere their normal sleep cycle as well as the exercises that they are daily doing, the bodily physical activities. I would like to take this opportunity to request you all for leave your comments and questions or whatever suggestions you have regarding the conversation series in the comments section. Thank you for tuning in.